Holiday stress is not just emotional, it's biological. There's increased stimuli, there's crowded spaces, there's disrupted routines, massively disrupted, and relationship dynamics that all come into a play and affect the nervous system. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pain Free for Life podcast. I am your host, Dr. Rob Van Bergen, and today we're diving into a topic that so many people have been asking about. How do we stay balanced, calm, and healthy during the holidays? Because let's be honest, right? They may be wonderful, but they can also be stressful. Travel, family dynamics, disruptive routines, all of the heavy foods, lots of sweets, late nights, and the emotional intensity surrounding all of this take a massive toll on the body. So in today's episode, I'm kind of doing something a little different. I'm cherry picking questions for this Q&A episode that are real questions from clients, from community members inside the reset, outside the reset, that have really been asking about staying well during the holiday season. The aim here is to show you all how you can use microcurrent, how you can use these natural health tips to regulate your nervous system, to support immunity, to help with stress relief, sleep, and even manage routines so that you can see how you can make it through without having complete burnout. So let's jump in. Question number one. I always get stressed during the holidays. What can I do to stay calmer this year? Now, this is a great question, and it's one of the most common questions. You know, it may be woven into different conversations, different things that people are saying or not saying so much. But holiday stress is not just emotional, it's biological. I think that's the first thing to understand. There's increased stimuli, there's crowded spaces, there's disrupted routines, massively disrupted, and relationship dynamics that all come into a play and affect the nervous system. So, what can we do here? Now, first and foremost, if you've been watching my 10-minute trainings recently, as we try to look into more uh, kind of holistic tips for those that maybe don't have microcurrent yet, or that want to combine it with other things, is breath work. Getting some breath work in will actually help to reset your vagus nerve. It won't do it as well as microcurrent, but it is a powerful tool. And all you really have to do is inhale for about 4 seconds and then exhale for about 6 to 8 seconds and repeat that for around 10 rounds. And this will help to activate the parasympathetic system, and that will lower your cortisol. Now, combining this with microcurrent, if you can, so using the microcurrent to stimulate the vagus nerve with 7 to 12 hertz while you're doing this, this will ultimately put the brakes on that sympathetic activation and force your body into a parasympathetic state. Microcurrent by itself can do this, but the deep breathing really helps, and it helps to calm you down. So if you're in an extreme stress situation, this is huge. And last but certainly not least here, I would say to build in kind of micro breaks. Whether you're dealing with gatherings, whether you're doing holiday shopping, whether you're cooking all the meals, I know that could be a stressor. Step away for 60 seconds, right? Do some deep breathing, recenter, do a little bit of vagus nerve, throw your ear clips on. These tiny resets prevent overwhelm before it builds up. And staying calm during the holidays, it's not about having zero stress, because that's not really gonna happen. But it is about allowing your body to kind of regulate the stress faster. So hopefully that answers that question. You know, it's obviously generic and general for all of you. And everyone's going to be a little different on how they need things, but this is a great starting point. All right, so question number 2 is, my sleep is always terrible. When I travel or host family, how do I stay rested? Okay, so this is huge. If your sleep is already a problem, it can totally damage everything that you're dealing with. Sleep disruption is far and away one of the biggest drains on your immune system and your energy levels. So how do you stay in rhythm? So we're going to talk about microcurrent, we're going to talk about PEMF, and we're going to talk about some things that are just around you as it stands. So number one is going to be to protect your evening light exposure. Screens, like you're possibly watching on right now, and bright lights, these shut down melatonin. So use dim lights. Avoid screens 60 minutes before bed at minimum. And then travel with some tools as well. Magnesium glycinate is actually really good for helping you to relax. A sleep mask can block that light out and really help because, especially when you're sleeping in an environment that you're not used to, you might not have that perfect setup that you've put into place. And then something to ground yourself. A PEMF tool, you can use the pad. I know a lot of people like to put their feet on the Chi Wave pad with 7 to 12 hertz, or you can just use the mitochondrial recharge kit. But the important point here is to use it with 7 to 12 hertz, not with blue stimulation. This will help calm that nervous system down too. And then you're going to need to, just as you needed an evening light control, you're going to need a morning light reset. As soon as you get up, within an hour of waking, you want to get 5 minutes of outdoor light exposure. This is a way to help reset your circadian rhythm, especially after travel or late nights. So even if the holidays disrupt your schedule, I think you can do these little things to help keep your body aligned with very small, yet ultimately intentional habits. And once you build these habits in, these don't have to just be for the holidays. You really should be doing these things anyway, but this can help deal with that increased stress. So, next question. What should I do when my routine gets completely thrown off? Now, this is an inevitable thing, right? The holidays will disrupt your routine. I always think about this in my own case. Like, it's different when you're in your own home, but we do Christmas at Dr. Laurie's. So, we're always traveling back and forth multiple times throughout the day, so that we can kind of reset in our own home. And when you're used to spending your entire day in your own home, it's very, very different. And I know some people, we're only traveling 25 minutes away there and then 25 minutes back. And some people are traveling like across the country or even across the world. And so this is a huge disruption to your routine, right? Your environment's different. The people you're exposed to are different. Suddenly you may feel you have to be on all the time. And honestly, the trick is to understand that it's happening anyway. They will disrupt your routine. And you have to switch from kind of an all or nothing mindset to a minimum effective mindset. So here's the bare minimum holiday routine that I think is important here. Just do these three things each day. Build a routine that allows you to have some control over your life. Get 5 minutes of movement. Okay. It's not huge. A short walk, stretching, a little bit of mobility work, just something that you can focus on 5 minutes for yourself a day. Give yourself some time here as well. Number two, 2 minutes of breath work, vagus nerve stimulation for 3 minutes. If you can do this, this is going to help a lot. It will regulate your mood and your energy. If you can't do these things very easily, even the breath work, sometimes people struggle with, just try and find a way to give yourself 10 minutes where you just do what you want. Whether it's lock yourself in the bathroom, pull out a book and read the book, or take a bath, or, just get some quiet time, even if you have to go sit in the car. It's something that can help you reset and regulate your mood and energy. And then doing some frequency medicine is always going to help, especially if you're a chronic pain sufferer, autoimmune disease sufferer. Getting some anti-inflammatory onto your body, which the vagus nerve will help with, is great. But in those areas where you see that discomfort, whether it's your hands, your feet, your back, get some treatment done. That will help a lot with your ability to kind of stick with the routine anyway that's healing you, and also to keep you from feeling like you've got these spikes of being worse. One of the big things as well here can be digestive support. Just painting over the digestive system with 7 to 12 hertz, bare minimum effort, right? Is going to help to relax all of the tissues in your gut. And that will help with that digestive support, which might make up for some of all the things you're eating. So there's other things you can do too, right? But if you can do nothing else, put this in, right? You're talking of maybe 10 minutes for yourself a day. These three things will help keep your system online. It will help keep it resilient, and it will help keep it adaptable. So the next question here, how do I keep my immune system strong with travel, crowds, and winter colds everywhere? Yes. I already got hit a few times this year with different flus, and at the moment, I find it's a cabinet behind me here. Knock on wood. I seem to be holding strong as we get into the colder season. But this is a huge one because the winter immune stress is a real problem, and the holidays amplify it. So we're ultimately ending up exposing ourselves consistently to germs and to more germs than we would before because all of a sudden we're now traveling and we're exposing ourselves to everyone in the sense of us traveling. But even if we're not traveling far and we're just in our own vehicle, we're going to family. Maybe we've got a bunch of kids or grandkids that all of a sudden are, one of them sick and then everyone falls. And I have had this happen at a Christmas before where I've just thought I was okay. I was going to be fine. And then I ended up getting extremely sick with the flu. And because I just pushed through it, I ended up making everyone else sick. Everyone got it. So this is a big one, right? So how do we deal with this? Well, those of you who have our microcurrent devices know we have an immune booster protocol. This is the time of year when I would be doing this 4-day protocol, stopping, and then for a few days, and then doing it again, and repeating this process consistently to keep your white blood cells high in their ability to function and to replenish themselves as they continue to fight all of these things off. Now, you're going to want to move your lymph as well. Now, this can be done with PEMF or microcurrent, but one of the ways I like to do it is to use a little rebounder and just to bounce on that for 2 to 3 minutes a day. It helps keep the system going, right? This means immune cells are circulating through the body. Nutrient support is super important too. Vitamin D3 and K2, zinc, which can be taken short term, and vitamin C. Lots and lots of vitamin C. Realize that from wherever you would get some of these nutrients, not that you can really get vitamin C from your own body, but wherever you would get these things, they are depleted in their ability for you to naturally get them this time of year. Hydration is super important too. You don't often think about it in the winter, but it is important. Indoor heating, this dries out your airways. If you're air travel as well, that's one of the worst things for this. A dry airway is super susceptible to infection. Hydrate with electrolytes, use a bedside humidifier if you have one, and keep your stress down. Easier said than done. We've already talked about how to do that, but the immune system is dramatically weakened when the nervous system is dysregulated. It really is terrible. These simple actions here will help you. So hopefully that helps. It will help you reduce sickness during holiday travel. But even just in general, this time of year, you can get something going to the grocery store, right? Take care and make sure you watch what you're doing. All right, next question. What about holiday eating? I always get inflammation and fatigue. Now, holiday food is awesome, right? A lot of people love it, but it can be a pain trigger. Now, there are some adaptations you can make. We've put out a cookbook that's got a bunch of recipes in it that are healthy holiday recipes. You could switch to some of these. You could read this book just for some of the tips about adding a few things that can help reduce inflammation instead of cause it. So you can convert foods into these things. You can access this cookbook directly through our Pain-Free Living magazine, the December issue, which is 100% free. So, and so is the cookbook. So you can get in there and you can get that. And you should be able to take a look and get some good ideas there. But you can also search healthy holiday recipes. And in general, you maybe just want to power through. There are things you can do. So hydrating with minerals as well will stabilize blood sugar and it will reduce cravings for a lot of the sweet stuff. Support that digestion. We talked about this already. Just painting 7 to 12 hertz over the stomach can help, but you can do the full abdominal protocol as well. And if you do this before or after heavier meals, it will support the motility of the gut and it will ease the bloating. And then there's this thing I've seen floating around called the 80-20 holiday rule. 80% of the things you choose should be mindful. So you're thinking, I shouldn't eat that. Maybe I will choose this instead of that big bar of chocolate. And 20% of your decisions should be celebratory. Enjoy. You don't deserve to be guilty or feeling shame for enjoying something, but balance it out. And it's not a 50-50. It's not, I ate this chocolate bar, now I'm going to eat a salad. It's kind of a 1 for 1, right? It's kind of try and eat more healthy, that 80% thinking about it. And 20% of the time, just indulge and enjoy yourself. Don't feel shame for that. You deserve it. And then also, they always sort of say people feel after you eat a big meal, whether it's big or small, you want to sit down and relax. But the truth of the matter is that in the end, you probably don't want to do that. Walking for 10 minutes after meals would reduce blood sugar spikes, but it will also boost your energy and it will prevent you from falling into one of those, like, now I'm tired and I want to go to sleep modes. Okay, next question. What frequency protocols should I use during the holidays if I only have a few minutes a day? So, great question. Top ones that you can do, easy peasy if you've only got a few minutes a day. Number one is vagus nerve stimulation. Do that as much as you can, 3 to 4 times a day for 3 minutes. That is going to be the biggest thing. If that's all you can do, that is going to be the biggest thing because it will help with anxiety. It will help with overwhelm. It will reduce inflammation. It will help with gut motility and it will help with emotional balance. If you've got a little bit more time or you're into the passive treatments, clip those ear clips on and start using the Alpha program. This will help reduce stress while you're using it. So it's one of those things that you can just leave on and continue your treatment. And if people get used to you wearing these little white ear clips, it's not even going to bother you. You're not even going to really notice, but it's going to help to keep your brain in that calm state. And then I would say the other thing is that digestive support. Although vagus nerve plays a role here as well, getting that gut motility continuing to work properly so that you don't get backed up or bogged down with inflammatory responses that end up causing a stomach upset, that's going to help you out a lot. Okay, so we've just got one more question here for this episode. So this question is, how do I stay emotionally balanced around family stress? Okay, well, if I had the answer to that, I think I would have a whole different business. Holiday emotional triggers are very real. They are also predictable. You've got it in your mind who's going to cause it. You know which of the family members is probably going to be the troublemaker, right? And yet you don't want to remove them from your life. Maybe it's an inevitable experience, so you just have to accept it. Well, here's what helps. Pre-event grounding. So before gatherings, if you know you're going to be going to dinner or even if you're in their house and you're like, okay, the dinner's coming or the present opening is coming or the gift exchange or whatever it may be, and this is where it gets intense, then start with your slow breaths, do your vagus nerve, and this should be kind of done before you enter the immediate situation. But prior to that, throughout the day, you can do grounding whenever you get the opportunity. 7 to 12 hertz. Again, you could just use the chi wave pad and put your feet on it while you're relaxing, or you can use the hands and feet method, and you should get some benefit here as well. I would also set boundaries. It can be challenging for sure to do that, but you may need it. I frequently step outside during Christmas gatherings because I get very overheated when I'm in big social situations. Stepping outside for just a few minutes, taking some deep breaths, cooling yourself down if you're feeling like overwhelmed will help a lot. Feel free to excuse yourself to the bathroom, right? It's no one's business what you're doing in there. Go in there, take some breath work, take a breath, right? Just 60 seconds, and give yourself a little bit of a break. Or go for a short walk after dinner. If you have a dog, great excuse to take your dog for a little walk, and to get out and about and hopefully get a little bit of that calm and isolation, or not even necessarily isolation, but companionship with the people that you're used to being with or that you want to spend time with that is going to calm you down rather than increase your stress. Otherwise, the other thing is to realize that even after the event is over, your body is still in that fight or flight mode. So use your low frequencies, right? Use your 7 to 12 hertz, use your alpha ear clips, calm down, take your magnesium, have a little bit of an early bedtime, do some gentle stretches. It doesn't matter. Look at things that you can do to help you recover from the event because it is a stressful situation. Even if everything goes well, you still put yourself in a position that breaks your routine. And humans like routine. We do not like being out of routine. Family stress, it doesn't just need emotional tools, it needs physiological support as well. Okay, everyone. So thank you for joining me. I want to just say, the holidays, they really don't have to drain your energy. They don't have to disrupt your healing capacity. If you have small, consistent practices and adaptive microcurrent routines, ultimately you can stay calm, you can stay grounded, you can stay energized, and you can be resilient the whole season long. Healing is not about perfection. I think this is the important thing I want people to take away from this, because anyone dealing with a chronic pain, chronic stress situation is thinking to themselves, you know, I I need to do this perfectly. And if I mess up one little bit, it's going to throw everything out of whack. But I don't think it's about that. I think it's about staying connected to your body, to your breath, to your intentions, and realizing that this is not the time of year to break all of those things just so that you can make a New Year's resolution to hold out for another 9 months and then break them all again, right? You can hold these things true. You can stay connected. You can do your routines. You can take care of yourself even in the busiest season of the year. If you don't take care of you, if you don't put yourself first, you will have nothing to give to anyone else. And I know this is the giving season, and that's maybe not what you wanted to hear, but you have to take care of yourself first. And it's fine to let people know that too. So thank you for joining me for this Q&A holiday edition. We'll be back next month with another Q&A episode. There's obviously more episodes of the podcast coming every week, but I'm doing these Q&As once a month, and next month it will just be a regular Q&A, probably microcurrent questions. But this was just something that I wanted to put together to really help with the people asking these very intentional, very specific seasonal questions. Hopefully you found it useful. If you have any more questions or you want more episodes about things like this, just let us know. Otherwise, happy holidays, everyone, and I'll see you in another episode. Take care. Bye bye.